All right, we're on. So, welcome everyone to the end of the Sydney Foils race for this week. The Northern Beaches race here in Sydney. We've just wrapped up and I've just gone and grabbed my microphone so I can go around and interview some people and bring you this pretty nonchalant in-person podcast. So I'm just walking back to the zone, and before we jump right in, I thought I would share my foiling story for the week, because let's just say I've had a pretty gnarly week. So basically I've been invited here, and I was staying with Josh Koo, and so I bought my flight over, flew in on Thursday, and yeah, we rocked up, and already the conditions were pretty hectic. There was probably 25 knot wind and a decent swell coming through. And I went out and did the run from Maroubra through to Bondi Beach. And it was some of the biggest swells I've seen in my life. But it was nothing compared to what I would do the next day. So that day, maybe 25 knot winds, 3 meter swells, got some good bumps, was riding the 720S from Code. Felt like it just wasn't quite glidey enough for the conditions, very different to what we had in Perth. And yeah, I was a little bit worried because I wasn't going too quick and everything felt pretty big and massive. But tomorrow, the wind picked up to crazy conditions. So we rocked up at the beach, it was midday. I was going out with Oscar Johannson, Josh Koo, and Perth Stanley. So I probably should have looked at that and thought, hey, this is not a normal group of people to go out and do a downwinder with. But it was freaking mental. The winds were gusting up to 50 knots. They recorded 110 km/h winds up at Sydney. Just before I headed out, Oscar jumped on his phone and went, oh, look at that, 7 meter swell recorded. So I got out there using Josh Koo's board, and I just couldn't paddle up. It was freaking way too intense for me. Anyway, ended up coming in at Bondi, seeing in some of the biggest swells and craziest winds of my life. But yeah, that's my story for the week, and I'm glad that I was alive and survived it. But let's go around and interview some people. Luke, doing the Foil Project podcast.
Yeah.
You keen to just run us through the race, give us an introduction to yourself and what happened today?
I suppose so. Do I just put that around my
Yeah,
neck?
just chuck that over your head. You might need to take the hat off. This is the camera, by the way. So.
Oh, all right. I feel cool. I've got a little puffy necklace.
Yeah, it's sick, hey? It's pretty funny. Hopefully it records it, otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. I'll stand this way so.
Yeah, good idea, good call.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's your race?
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Yeah, it was a challenging start. Wind and swell all crossed up, and a lot of people had a real good start. I really struggled on the start, unfortunately. But yeah, I had a good time once I was up.
Yeah.
I felt good on the foil and had a really good pace. I felt fast and didn't fall, and yeah, I was stoked and heard everyone did really well at the start, at the finish, coming through the short break. And
Yeah. Did you cut wide or come round?
I cut a little bit too wide. I was kind of I think I was in yesterday's head frame. Wind was a bit more onshore, so yesterday's game plan was cut wide and come in with the wind and the swell, but today
You wanted to tuck in.
More cross shore, and I was too far out and just struggled a little bit. But it was all right. Came in and got it done, so yeah, it was good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk us through the gear you're riding today?
So I was riding the new Downwind Mako Frank Axis board, 8.6, 120 litres.
Yeah.
That thing just feels so good. And then 80 centimetre masks, Fireball 1000, and then the skinny 30 tails. So yeah, pretty fast setup. I think I managed to do a 2:01 pace for the whole
Sick.
session.
Dude,
so,
you were flying.
yeah, so I was pretty happy. I was just a bit disappointed on the start. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, the quickest time I got was a 2:06, but I just got lucked out with getting up pretty early, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good conditions today.
Oh man, it was so much fun, and it's such a raw ocean. Anything can happen out there, and it's everyone did well. I think majority of the people made it. Yeah, it's just epic.
Yeah, it was a super
Even
fun
if you
day.
didn't make it, just getting out there today, it was it's a pretty
pretty
daunting
sick.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
it
pretty,
was,
it's pretty epic. But
How does it compare to yesterday? So yesterday was a bit windier and maybe the swell was just a tiny bit bigger?
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I had more fun yesterday, but it was a fun run. There's no pressure on. It was a race, but yeah, it was fun.
I'm interested in that board. If you pan the video and that's the board just down there.
Yeah.
Why is it so much better, or what makes it so much better than other boards you've ridden before?
Just the shape. shape and the dimensions of it. I mean, for me, like it's just such a fast board through the water,
Yes,
paddling up. It just doesn't feel like it's an effort to get it moving. And then, I mean, obviously I struggled with it today, but I think that was just the confused ocean. And, but yeah, it's just stable in the water and fast. Yeah, once you're up as well, like I think the mast's position compared to a lot of other boards, it's really far forwards.
Yeah.
So even though it's an 8.6, you don't
feels
have that
short,
much
hey?
board in front of you, so there's no swing weight. It just feels like once you're up and riding, it feels super locked in and nice.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
How about the rest of your week here? What's it been like?
Yeah, pretty good. Got down a couple of days ago. Drove through some pretty atrocious weather. Had one session on the way down, sup foiling at Crescent Head, which is cool.
Sick.
And then run yesterday, and then we'll just cruise up the coast and do some camping on the way home, and hopefully score again. So
Yeah, awesome. Also, thanks for bringing my board down, dude.
all good, bro. Pleasure.
Awesome. All right, thanks for the
Thank
chat.
you. Easy,
I'll go
man.
jump on to the next person. Keep it
All
rolling.
right.
Do you want a quick interview?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
I'm not really good at it, but I'll try to do my best.
Do you want to start by just
Hello.
just introduce yourself, who you are, where you came from?
Hey guys, my name is Adrien. I'm French, but I lived in Byron Bay for the last 7 years, and I'm here trying to have a great time with all my mates.
Yeah, sweet. How was your race?
Yeah, it was good. It was awesome. Like everyone was frothing. Like got a good start. Like everyone was screaming up the front.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
sure
so much fun,
you
hey?
heard that. And yeah, that was good. Like I think I'm where I'm supposed to be. So yeah, fun. Lots of learning still, but yeah.
Yeah, what were you riding?
I was riding the Downwind 690, the new one with the 122 tail, and the 80 HM mast, and I think that was perfect for me today.
Yeah, sweet. I was on
awesome.
the 680, so very similar size,
Yeah.
and I reckon it was sweet. Hey, that
You
was
like
awesome.
literally 2 kilos less than me. I'm
Yeah.
like, we're about the same foil, same weight. Like,
Yeah.
so very, very similar.
How have you enjoyed your time here in Sydney?
Yeah, oh, it's awesome. I used to live here for like, a year when I first arrived in Australia, and yeah, it's a beautiful place. I like it. Good people, good wind, good waves, heaps of like opportunity for all the different sports that we do. So
Yeah.
always good
Are the-
to be back here.
Are the conditions tricky at a Bondi? Sorry.
Trickier than Byron.
Byron.
Yeah, I think so, because here there's more like headlands, and obviously the swell was big, so lots of backwash and stuff. So definitely a lot different, a lot more technical, but I think it's great because it's all about learning and getting used to different places. So Byron's got his fair bit of like tricky stuff too, but it's different. I think we got it pretty easy up there.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe like you guys.
I came here and I've been humbled, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's all good. It's
great.
learning. Hey.
Yeah, you've done pretty good. Like
I'm stoked.
I
Yeah.
think you should be because like the last few days were pretty rough.
I've learned a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah. How was your race? You happy with it?
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm actually stoked. So I fell kind of like early on, which was pretty annoying.
It's always frustrating, huh?
I don't know if I was next to you at that stage
I
or
don't think
like.
I saw you at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were too far.
Anyway, I was right behind Josh and I fell, and then I yelled out no, and apparently he heard me. But yeah, from that stage on, the front crew was just gone.
Yeah.
And I was just playing catch up, which I don't think I was really managing to do. But
Yeah.
oh man, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Like today was my favorite day.
Yeah, fully. Like I think it was more like manageable, so you could actually like drop in down the big ones and try to go up and over, and I don't know, it was a bit more maybe like what we're used to.
Exactly, yeah. And Perth, I heard that Perth had this crazy strategy along the cliffs where he came in close and then used the backwash.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the like.
But Perth is next level. He's an alien. Like
Yeah, he was doing like 150s.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
It's
Like
crazy.
the quickest K I did was.
I can't believe he came in 6 because he was like going way faster. I don't even think James did the below 2 minute K.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Like his best K is 2 or something.
That's crazy.
I think that's what
Perth
he
must
said.
have taken a while to get up then or something. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, thank you, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'll try and get someone else as well. Keep it
Yeah, for
moving.
sure.
Thanks for that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
That's Keep going. Yeah, it's easy, eh?
Just a retard in the back.
All right.
That's wild.
Oh, just flip it around the other way. Sorry about that. Okay, well, once you got it set, just let us know who you are, where you've come from, and how your race was. All
That's
where to start.
Kangaroo ball around your neck.
Yeah, I reckon.
Hey, it's Jamie from South Australia.
Sick.
Well, the only competitor from there. So, interesting conditions out there. We've learning a lot real fast. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a good race though.
And Jamie's one of the designers for FoilDrive. Which I just learnt this week. We've hung out a bit. It's been pretty cool to hear what you do for them, and awesome.
Helping out with the prototyping and building new things for FoilDrive, and it's been a bit of a journey there too.
Yeah. Wait, I might just start. How did you get into working with FoilDrive?
Well, the electronics for FoilDrive is very similar to a radio-controlled car. It's just beefed up on steroids to carry a human. So I was doing radio-controlled planes and cars and stuff like that way early. So I foiled, had knowledge of electronics, and it was basically just a perfect fit.
Yeah, sick. And then race today.
Today.
We came in right together.
We were right together, and the weed got you a little bit, so I almost caught you.
Yeah.
But no, I had a great start. Paddled up, basically stood up into a bump. So great off the start. Little slow. I was just cutting with the wrong foil. I just wasn't happy. But as soon as we rounded the corner of Avalon, got into some good bumps. It was pretty even between us for a long time.
I think we were kind of I think I sort of lost a bit of ground when I fell, and then I'd kind of get a bit closer. And then,
oh my gosh, it was so fast. Then you just had me that speed through those inside ones. I just couldn't keep it.
Yeah, I just worked real hard around the point. Hey. Yeah. What about the rest of your time in Sydney? What's it been like?
No, that's all good. It's been pretty hectic. I had to get up at 3 a.m. Saturday morning to get here, and then we go do a run in the biggest swell I've ever done in my life. So it's been a big Saturday, and then Sunday we're got a good sleep, in the right headspace, just had to go race. So,
yeah, sick.
So fun.
Oh, this has been such a fun weekend. This was the best way to finish it off, though. I think everyone had a great time, so
such a good time.
Fully stoking. Anything else you want to finish on?
Well, I reckon you just got to keep doing it and hopefully get some more races around and keep going to new places and doing that. So
yeah, maybe we should add here thanks to Josh, Lisa, and Simon.
Yeah,
They've,
absolutely
made it possible.
Oh my gosh, if you look at just the WhatsApp messages alone, you see how much work they've put in. So
yeah, it's wild.
We're gonna go thank them very much.
Awesome, thank you, man.
Thanks, dude. Catch you later.
Perfect. All right, I'll grab that off you, and I'm gonna keep trying to do the rounds.
I reckon.
Thanks. That was so good. You're a natural.
Oh, I've done a fair bit. For FoilDrive and shit.
Yeah. Perfect.
Thanks, Hugh.
No worries. Oscar, when you're done packing up your foil, I'll get you to jump on here too. You're next, dude.
No way.
Huh? Oh, is it twisted? Yeah, the thing came out yesterday. My handle came out yesterday. And then I was like, I didn't have enough glue. I didn't have any glue gun, so I'll just quickly rub some in and around a hole. Clearly, is it really bad still? Oh, whoa!
It's not great, dude.
Is it twisting?
Yeah, it's loose.
Far out, dude.
It was loose yesterday. I was paddling out, going like that, and I could see it was out, and I was like, that can't be right. But
what size paddlehead is that, Oscar?
Large.
Yeah. And you like that?
98 square inches, yeah.
Even as a light rider?
Yeah. Everyone can play. Everyone's worried about their shoulders, but I'm like, if you're taking more than 5 strokes to get up, you're not winning any races. So.
I like the cadence of the small foil.
Yeah. If you're fast and quick, yeah. But if you're then fast and quick with a big blade, you get even smaller foils up.
Then you're a beast.
But
do you guys want to do the interview?
Nah.
Here, you do it.
Nah, fuck no.
Yeah. Mix it up.
Mix it up. Keep it.
What am I doing?
So basically, this is a podcast, so I want you two to just introduce yourselves.
Okay.
It'll be a video too, but just tell us who you are, how your race was.
I'll hold this. You're the fucking...
No. You go. This is cool. It's weird. It's like a weird episode. We're not in a studio or anything. So yeah, just tell us who you are and we'll go from there.
I'm Jake Dailey.
Yeah.
I'm Oscar Johannson.
And
we're foilers.
Yeah, we're this is a great start here.
All right.
No, we just completed the Northern Beaches foil race for 2025.
2025, done. There was last year nor'east run. We got
Yeah.
skunked with conditions. This year southerly run with some of the better conditions we've seen in a long
Yeah.
time.
Still challenging, definitely pretty mixed up ocean. A lot of
East swell kind of fucked a lot of us, I think.
yeah.
Which south wind, east swell, a lot of backwash,
Yeah.
a lot of bumps going out.
And a bit confusing to kind of choose foils as well. I know some people sized up.
Yeah.
I think Oscar
I sized down.
stuck to his guns and went small. I think that was probably a good op.
Well, I could ride the swells. The reverb. I found the east reverb was pretty long period.
Yeah.
So if you could tap into the reverb or the swells, they were going fast.
Yeah.
Then the wind bumps were slow.
Yeah, some big ridges coming through.
Yeah.
But
You're never going to win on the slow foil. So I was
No,
like, you either risk it to get the biscuit, and I got lucky on the start. So that was about it.
An interesting finish, definitely. Bit of a shory with this east swell. We don't really usually get swell in here at all, unless it's kind of
And
like
the
from the
weed.
north. Yeah,
What was we?
it's bad. It's like WA weed.
Mate, it was just a shory of weed and...
Do you want to just run us through the gear you're riding?
Sure. I'm on the code 680. I went today. I went medium fuse, 120 tail. And I'm pretty happy I was on the plus 80 mast today. And I think that saved me. A few of those times those backwashes coming underneath me, you go from touching down on the top like the board to like nearly full extension of the mast in like an instant. So I was really stoked to be on that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I went, it's a 580. It was a prototype that I rode last year for the M2O. Really fast, but just insane stall speed. So kind of just nerves. The nerves to paddle it up is kind of everything. And then, tail's like a 120. So. But I went at 80. What length mast did you go? 75?
No, 80.
You went 80, yeah, right.
I think 80 is a sweet spot.
I was the same, yeah. If I was shorter, I'd be stressing the whole time about my height. Touching down, like whatever. I felt good.
Can you tell us about the tail?
Yeah, tail's just, it's solid titanium. Not because it's just faster prototype. So I was purely for M2O, tight timelines to get things made. So we tried it in G10 and it was so flexy, and the only way to get it stiff was, and we didn't have time to make molds. So
Is it stiffer than carbon?
I think as properly laid up carbon, probably not. It's just that you can cut it in one go and you're done.
Yeah.
So
That's super interesting, hey.
it's purely a timeline thing. We're not too good at our planning at Armstrong. We are everything's on the fly and just forever pushing forward. So it is what it is.
What about boards? What do you...
So mine is based off like the standard Downwind performance board, but then one size down off the production because no one wants like 80. I think it's 86 or 88 liters, and it's just not.
Yeah, same. That's
No
about...
one's buying that.
That's
so.
right. Yeah, so I think I was 80, 16 and a half, but 84 litres.
Yeah, 84. Yeah. What do you weigh? 70.
Yeah, so that's pretty comfy for me today.
Yeah, I think that's 88 liters. I go through weight like when it's big, I nosedive a little on it, being that low volume, but at the same time, it just feels so much better once you're up.
Yeah,
like, I'm kind of
so connected to it.
Yeah. The big board thing is, I don't know, it doesn't feel nice to ride.
It gets you up, but then that's about it.
Yeah. So in a race where you got to get up, I probably should, on that foil, I should be going to a bigger board, but...
Oh, well, obviously it didn't really...
It worked today, I got lucky today.
What place did you come, Oscar?
Technically fourth.
That's awesome.
Gentleman's agreement, third, second, somewhere around there. I don't know. We made a gentleman's agreement yesterday that we're like, whoever's on which bump. Yeah, we did. Jimmy calling it. Every camera that'll listen, I'm telling them.
All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Cheers,
Appreciate
legends.
it.
If you chuck one of those mics to Hobey, and I'll grab the other one back. But thanks, dude. That was epic.
That was fun.
Well done.
That was my best interview yet.
It's got to be loose.
Hobey, he's running away.
Don't think.
We'll walk over. We'll go. I'll just go meet him there. Cheers, dudes.
Voyager hat.
We'll go over here, Hobey. It'll be quieter. Yeah. Cheers, dude. Just tell us a bit about yourself, how you got here and how your race was. That's what you do.
Yeah, my name's Hobey. I'm from Oahu. We flew in a couple days ago and did a run yesterday. It was pretty nuts. It was huge, a lot bigger than today, but today was pretty sick. It was really pushing, and so we had a predominant ground swell coming from the east, and then a really good south wind swell, and so you could kind of just zigzag between those and use those to just hold speed on the ground swells, and so that was super sick, super fun race. Challenging conditions. First half was pretty easy and pretty straightforward. And then by the time we got to Avalon, there's a lot of backwash, and we're used to it. We got a lot of backwash at home too, so it was good. Like, felt like home water, but definitely super challenging. And yeah, super fun race, but
Yeah, sweet.
super tricky.
Talk us through. Did you come down at all, or did you get up straight away and just ace it?
We had a really good start. I was sitting right next to the start guy, and so I saw him reach his hand up to start the whistle, and so I got up quick and was able to.
I was the other end of the playing field.
Yeah, I was able to to get a good bump right away. As soon as I stood up, one opened up right in front of me. So got up good, and yeah, it was like super quick out of the start. And then just on the finish at this point right here, a little backwash came off and grabbed my nose, and I went down right there, but somehow managed to get up pretty quick. Only lost about like 10 or 15 seconds. And,
Yeah. So you fell off here and then you paddled up straight away and managed to catch one in.
Yeah.
Catch one in.
I
Did
got
you lose any places in that?
I lost one place.
One
lost
place,
one place,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Tough. And tell us about what you're
good.
riding.
That's what happens. Yeah, we're riding a 680 with a 120 tail and with a little bit of shim on it. Definitely could have gone a little smaller today. In the beginning, it felt good, but by the time we got down here to Avalon, the bumps were really stretching out and felt like we could have used a little more acceleration and a little more release to really get going. But yeah, played it safe and finished the race well. So
Sick.
it was definitely fast enough, but could have gambled a little smaller.
Yeah. So yesterday, you were riding the 600
yesterday.
with a 1 degree shim on the 120,
1 degree
which is kind of
shim,
like
1
no
degree
one
shim.
does that.
Yeah,
But
I
what
mean,
was-
it was
yeah.
giant, and so that was fun. It was
Yeah.
just like doing 50Ks.
Did you
an
prefer
hour.
yesterday or today?
Today was just like way more straightforward, and average speed was way better today.
Yeah, sick. So you're
So-
managing to keep with the bumps. Actually, tell me, so
Yeah.
I was struggling out there. I know we've kind of talked about this already, but I was basically just keeping with the wind bumps and basically ignoring the groundswell. Like, how were you keeping with those groundswells, or like, what was the strategy you had?
Yeah, you kind of peel out and you kind of look for that giant wall forming and see if you can take a wind swell into it because you're never going to be able to pump straight into a ground swell. You're going to always need like a feeder bump to get into it, to get you speed. And so look for that feeder bump, and then once that ground swell starts turning, then turn with it and
Just bomb.
pump as hard as you can. And
So you're like
Open
on a
up your
bump,
stance.
kind of getting good speed, and then
Yep.
you're pumping to get into the
yeah, open up your stance and just hold on.
Yeah.
And try not to breach.
And does it feel like crazy jacking up?
Oh yeah, it's just like normally you can keep your stance pretty narrow, but on the huge ones you got to open up and just like
Just go crazy.
you need so much front foot pressure because you're maxing these tiny foils out.
Tell us what happened with your leg.
Dude, I don't even know. It must have been on the
on the shore.
on the shorey. I was just cruising on the beach and my leg started to kind of hurt, and I looked down and I had blood dripping down my whole leg. I was like, oh,
bugger.
got me.
Yeah. That shorey's pretty mental.
Little
hey?
hectic.
We should go out for a surf.
I know, the surfers were pissed. I came right next to him. But he was all good.
I was out there and a jet ski guy came past me and he just yelled out, "Don't go in the flags!" And I was like, sweet.
Oh, yeah,
Avoid the flags.
Yeah.
But yeah, sick race. Thanks,
Yeah,
Hobey.
super epic.
That was sweet. Cheers, dude.
You got it.
What last second, do you want to tell us about that hood that you're wearing?
Oh yeah,
I'm interested.
yeah. Little Florence shirt. It's super good. It's like super skin tight, and these holes are tiny, and it's almost like AC. Like the wind blows through it. I'm still freezing right now. I really need to take it off, but I'm sunburnt from yesterday, so I'm just handling. But yeah, they're super good. No like resistance, no drag when you get up. They're not baggy at all. So for the paddling, and they pretty much stay wet the whole race. So it's good. They keep you cool, keep the sun off you. And if you need the hood, you can. But I personally don't like foiling with the hood on. I feel like it covers my ears and my depth perception, and just
I think
senses
this is
get a little thrown off. But
I think this is our last competitor coming in just now.
yep,
Stoken. Oh man, it was
Hammer.
so much fun today. I loved
fun.
it.
Yeah, it was epic.
Sweet. Thanks,
Super
Hobey.
epic. You got it.
All right, we're gonna go get James. Jimmy. Can I chuck that over your head? All right. There we are. That'll be good enough.
As long as she doesn't want to play
All right. How was your race?
I feel like
Good
I just
race.
won a marathon. Yes. Thank you.
I had a good race. I had a really good start, and then
Nothing really went wrong. I just lost a bit of momentum at like at the beginning. I was like hooked onto a good like swell train packet. Just kept going with them. Boom, 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 boom. Didn't pull off for like the first 2Ks. Not really good. And then didn't do it. I sort of felt like I had to cut out a bit further, so I just went a little bit too far in. But Nick Capullo and I sort of shared a few bumps together, and then he got one bump in front, and all of a sudden he was like
just flying.
Yeah, and then,
so Nick won the race today.
Yeah. Nick won, and then I was with Oscar and Andrew at around
it's gonna be a bit crazy.
At around Newport Reef, and I was kind of like, I just know if you get a good run on the inside at the headland at Bangalley, if you get a good wedge on the inside, you can make a lot of ground.
Yeah.
But it's a risk because you can always get stuck. And I went for the inside and had a good start, like first third of the Bangalley section. And then I just got a few dead ends. So I was pumping and paddling just to keep going. So I lost a bit of ground running that inside line. And then I was in like damage control mode. I went into Bangalley at like equal second and came out fourth. So I was like, what can I do to make this better? And the boys, I couldn't keep up with them. So I tried to go outside. I couldn't keep with them. And then I went inside and I caught back up.
Yeah, sick.
And thought I was almost going to get in the same bump of them around the corner into the beach. I just missed, like literally, like if I was where you are, I would have been on the same bump as them. And I just, it was just sort of gurgled. I was literally on the rocks at the point. And it gurgled and I missed it. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm fourth. There was no one too close behind. No one on the same bump I was on. So I was like, okay, fourth's good, but let's see what happens in the Shorey. I was actually thinking from yesterday, Oscar was ripping. He did like a massive turn coming in, whereas Andrew kind of stacked it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, out of Oscar and Andrew, maybe I might be able to get Andrew coming in.
Yeah.
Oscar they both fell off, hit seaweed, and so I kind of knew where not to go because that's where they were. And so I went a bit further up the beach and hit a bit of turbulence and came down, but in front of the wave, then jumped on my board and rode it like probably about 10 metres from the shore. And Oscar's board washes up like past me.
Oh, no.
But Oscar's swimming.
Oh, right. Wait, did his leg rope snap?
Yeah, no, he just took his leg rope off, I think, because
okay.
he was like, I don't know why. He kicked it. Like he should, if it was attached to his board, he would have like
come
second or third. But so Andrew and I came in the beach together, and he was a bit closer to the shore, and he was a bit more organised. I sort of fell off and did a somersault.
Yeah.
And he did a bit of a better job than me, but I did a better job than Oscar. So
yeah, nice.
Sort of third, but I guess it's the race. But
Do you want to tell us a bit about Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Mental day.
Yeah, Friday was. So this week I feel like Friday was like a 15 out of 10. Yesterday was like a 9.5 out of 10. And today was like an 8.5 out of 10. Like we've had a really good.
Yeah.
But Friday was so big that it was not even fun. Like it was terrifying. That the swell wasn't that big, but the wind was so strong. So we had like 50 knot gusts, and it was like averaging like 40s kind of thing.
Yeah.
And not only that, but out there, the tops are getting blown off the white caps.
Yeah.
And there were bumps getting like. Just like you're going down one, and it was because it was a little bit like the swell was a touch southeast and the swell was the wind was a touch southwest. So you're going down this 10-foot swell, and there's 4 foot of chop that's just only making you go faster, but coming from like almost 15 degrees from the side. So you're going down, you're trying to slow down, or just navigate, and then you got to navigate the wind chop. And I had one where I was going along and literally broke on my foil basically. I thought I'm doing here, and somehow I was low enough on my mast, I guess I didn't breach tip, and I sort of went through it. And then there was others that I thought I was sweet, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh no, and you sort of like, on your toes and grabbing your head and just like bracing for, I'm wondering how long it should take to find that. Bracing for the impact kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was gnarly, but it was actually easier to come in the other day than it was.
Here?
Yeah, it was way smaller. Yeah, because it was really south. So it was south, whereas today's more east.
Yeah.
So and that was half the problem the other day. It was so big and south that it was so fast you couldn't really change angles because everything was down the barrel, and I was using the 600R. I need to be using like the 500S.
Yeah.
Just like
it would have been the perfect day for that.
Yeah, it would have been. In hindsight.
How do you find paddling up in conditions like that? Like
I literally got up on a 600R in like one stroke on one attempt. Yeah.
Yeah, with a 50 knot gust in your back.
Yeah. It wasn't hard. As long as it was timing. It was all timing. Yeah.
How about today? What was your strategy for like going fast? Or what strategies did you try what worked and what didn't?
It's kind of what I always do. I don't mind too much about going off the run line too much. So if there's a good bump and it's going into shore, I'll take it, and I'll be able to sort of make the ground back by using the speed that they get from it.
Yeah.
So that's what I always do for my home run and kind of everywhere. So it's like speed's more important. You can sort your track out later. And maybe that hurt me a little bit today because I was a little bit off track, I think. A little bit too far in maybe. But I don't know, that's how I like to run. You know, get speed first, worry about where you're going next.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I probably focus too much on trying to go in a straight line potentially and not generate the speed by going with bumps.
When there's a good bump running,
go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Because and when there's not, that's not adjust. Like if there's like a lull in the sets, I'll just like, okay, now's my time to get back out wide. And you can lose a bit of ground if there's a long time doing that.
Yeah.
But normally when you're cutting out, you actually buy yourself time. You can see a good one coming and you can turn back in. So I was like right then left, never really going straight.
Did you have any moments today where you like dropped and lost your speed, or you're normally keeping it up?
No, the first half of the race had a really good momentum.
Yeah.
Second half, I just made not mistakes, but I was probably just trying to force the issue too much, trying to get on bumps that weren't really on.
Yeah.
And when people are around you and you're like, oh, they're going faster than me, I got to try to stick with them.
Yeah.
And I probably had to cut out a bit more to be patient for a good set. That was then going to keep me going. But when you're cutting out, in my head I'm thinking I'm going backwards. So I was trying to continue going forwards, which isn't always. Anyway, sometimes you got to be patient.
All right, thank you so much, James.
That's
sweet.
Yeah, kiss you.
Awesome. I'm trying to go around and get a little bit of everyone. So.
Yeah. Good job, mate.
Thanks, dude. I feel like it's going to be an interesting podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Just like slap it all together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, thanks.
Thank you, mate.
So none of the guys at the top fell, eh?
I think 10th was high.
High?
Can I stop you guys, actually? Jeremy, Hugh, nice to meet you.
Jeremy.
I'm doing a podcast. Any chance you could chuck this on? And Luke, do you want to chuck the other one on? And just you guys can interview each other? As long as you don't have anywhere to be.
Already missed.
You could just restart.
Mate, you made it.
Well,
this is sick.
Harry, that's no show.
Just you like
Made it with a hell of a toe, but...
Is the mic in there?
Yeah, it's pointing towards you, don't worry.
If you could just introduce
yourselves and just let us know what's happening.
So, Luke, I'm Jeremy. I like your little pussycat fur thing there.
I like yours too. I'm Luke.
We'll have to figure out who looks better on, eh?
I reckon I rock it pretty well. I don't know. I think it's more of a young person thing. But yeah, we're both from eastern suburbs, Maroubra kind of area. And I started foiling about 3 years ago. Started winging and then got into proning because of Jezza. He's always out there and pushing me since I started. So see him as a bit of a role model in the sport. And I love foiling with him.
When you started, Luke, you were literally sub-18, there's not that many young foilers, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, I was like 16 when I started, and there was no one really else my age. I was always hanging out with like these old fellas.
It was always really competitive at the start too. Like, I gotta get Jeremy. I was like, all right. He hasn't got that attitude anymore.
I still got it, but I'm not competitive with him anymore because I always beat him. So there's no more competition, you know.
So there you go. You still got it deep in him.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's been good foiling with Jezza. Been going down the coast a bit, get away from the crowds with them. And yeah, he was on the FoilDrive today.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, FoilDrive. Well, I don't know. Like, is it a cop out, and people are going to say that I'm not competitive? But I don't know. I just wanted to do what the funnest thing was today. So I just wanted to jump on the FoilDrive, and I didn't want to. Oh, the conditions were pretty fast, and I don't do much downwinding, and I don't really downwind in Sydney. So to be honest, I was like, FoilDrive's perfect for me, and they even opened up a division for me. But I was still beat. So there was, I think, came fourth. So Adam from Wollongong, who we foil with a lot, just snuck past me around this headland. So that was good.
Yeah, it's harder downwind, like where we're from. Like our run is like 7 Ks or something.
Yeah, so it's the one from Maroubra to Bondi.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a short run, and
how many Ks is it?
I think it's like 7 or 8 or something.
For real?
It takes us 15 minutes to do it.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So it's always
been that long. I don't even remember how long it is.
Yeah, that's an excuse for you why you don't downwind.
8 kilometers. Okay, yeah, sweet. Well,
but it takes like an hour to drive there, so it doesn't really balance. But
actually, you know what we should talk about was that sick one talking about 8 kilometres, that's kind of like, that's a little one. So we did this downwinder down the coast, Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And we're leaving, and Oscar and myself had always planned on doing a long one. It's about 80 Ks. And then Luke turns up, he's like, oh, I'm going to do like a 15. And then at 15, I remember asking, I was like, how are your legs? They cramping? He's like, nah, sweet. And then you just launched into your first big one.
Yeah, so my previous record was from the Perth race, which was 22 Ks.
Yeah.
Because as I said, our home runs are 8K long. So that was my longest run in Perth. And then, so I was 22, and then these guys said they had a free shuttle all the way back up. They had room and everything. And that
never happens too.
Never happens. And the conditions were like so good.
What were they like compared to today?
Today was a lot more challenging, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So today had like swells that were opposing the direction of the wind. The winds were light. Tricky racing conditions, but that's what these boys train for. So like all the top end guys, they're not there for no reason. They are good at what they do. They're talented foilers, and they train at this stuff too. So you see, like Luke fell out of the top 10 because of this reason. Or did you make top 10?
No, I fell.
Okay.
I got him.
He got me, right? Dude, I fell, and then he comes past. He's like, "Yeah, Luke." I'm like, "Nah, this guy." Because I thought you were in front, so I was like, "Oh, I was in front of him as well."
That was funny.
It is what it is, and
so there's a no fall policy, if you want to win on these things.
Oh, you can't fall, hey.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I felt, to be honest.
But I think, like, I don't know, like, I've never actually done this run. I've done it in a nor'easter. I've never done it in a southerly. And actually, that time that we did, you went on that one. The only time I've done this run to Palm Beach is when we started at home. So that was a 50K. That was a good one.
Wow.
But I still noticed that day there was a lot of backwash from the headlands. Yeah. I think it's standard. Like, I just don't know these areas. But
I wouldn't say that was a bad run. I think that's pretty standard run, yeah. Apart from the east swell.
Kiwi's going to say it was amazing. Kiwi loves all conditions.
Yeah.
From 5 knots to
50
knots. Yeah, what he did the other day was spectacular. It was sick. It was so good.
Sweet. Any other things you want to chat about while you got here? How was the race today overall?
It was sick. Oh, for us?
Yeah, for you. What was your experience?
Well, I'm a bit bummed about the fall and the blueies, but apart from that, it was pretty sick. Like, you see someone in front of you and you like kind of lock in to chase them and try and catch up to them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was doing every time I'd like see someone, try and catch up to them, and then next person trying to catch up to them, and like, I don't know, it's kind of easier that way, I feel like, than just being at the front.
One thing that I found with, if you do the racing thing, is that it always seems easier to stay with someone than it is to catch up or go past someone. Because I don't know why, but once you get next to someone, you're like following their rhythm, and it's like, oh, I'm cruising now. But then if he's in front of you, like you just can't get in front.
Follow their line.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The guys who train, the guys who specialise in this know the tricks of the trade.
And they don't tell us. It's up to us to find out.
Yeah.
That's the sport.
Well, I want to talk about winging the bommy. Is that like that wave that you guys go wing?
Oh,
apparently you two are the only people who go do that.
I did that. So the day that Kiwi went that big downwinder, we got a couple of waves at Arvo that was just bastic.
Is that the Bear Island?
Yeah. I was on my 625, which is pretty much my toe wing.
Yeah.
And I went down a couple of waves and I literally like was maxed out. It was insane.
How do you wing in 50 knot? Like
I had a 3.5 sail and 625, like tiniest fall you can have. And I was still finding that the wind was so gusty, you'd be going along and then it would start like pulling you up, down, and then I think it went up to, let's just say it went up to 55 because it felt like it went a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And then I started falling off. Like I was literally going forwards and touching down and
But I think we've established that wave is probably one of the most powerful waves we have like in that area because it just goes from super deep water swell and then it just hits the bommy and then just kind of sucks up. Oh. And there's just like that much power on that wave.
If you got stuck on the inside there, like, I went and had a look at it, you'd be like cooked, right?
It's not too bad.
If you lose your board, it looks like it would be safe, but it actually goes on the rocks.
Yeah.
But if you're caught on that bomby part, it's a very intense wipeout. Like I specifically brought a quick release because
just for that.
Yeah, and there was one, like I was going across trying to tack from the left to the right, and I fell off because a gust pulled me off, and literally watched the set start to feather out to sea, and it was like 10, 15 foot, and I was like, get me out of here. And when you're on that pressure, it's probably like a race start. You always do something wrong, and then you like pull off again, and then the second time I started, I got out of the zone, and then I looked back and I could just see this white water, and I was like, mate, like, I was so cooked. My leash would have snapped, my wing I would have disconnected because like I'm not going under a 10 to 15 footer, and then that's a swim in, yeah. But
it's like we went towing on that wave a bit ago, and it was one of those days where it was like nearly like a point, like it was big and going all the way, and we were trying to like, well, Jerry, we were like trying to get like little visions or like pulling into some.
Is that where you got the barrel clip from?
No,
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, and like when you'd fall there, we would lose the board with a jet ski and spend like 10 minutes trying to find the board.
You got to get on it straight away.
Yeah, and
but that wave's weird because it's got like the impact, the inside zone, which is very shallow, and then you got, so that's first reef, and then you got second, and then I've surfed it when it's third reef way out the back, and it turns into like a full point break.
That's what that's what we're talking about, and that's when it's like the best.
Yeah.
But no one surfs it, and I think it's really only foils, some boogie boarders, but
no, I surfed it growing up.
That's
There's
because
just
you
not many
don't
people
want
doing it.
crowds, right? Everyone would rather go like Maroubra.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool wave. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone does what they want, you know, like that day. I do have FOMO for what Joshy did.
Yeah.
But I'm stoked. I haven't had waves like that in over a year, so it was cool, and just winged it by myself, and it was epic.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was
Cheers,
sick.
guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for the questions.
No worries. Nice to meet you.
All right, nice to meet you too.
Awesome.
All right, pussycats off.
Let's do it.
Sick.
Yeah, we're here talking about FoilDrive today, and it's all very serious.
Yeah, it's very serious.
Proper serious business.
The audio is going to sound more horrendous, so maybe.
All right. Okay. All right.
Sweet. Thanks, guys. Do you want to just tell us where we are, what's going on, and a little bit of the summary for today?
Sydney Downwind race, second time for me. Pretty crazy conditions. I think the guys that know what they're doing had a blast. But yeah, we want to support the events, and yeah, sent Maddie down, and then I was a last minute addition, but support the guys, just be part of it, and yeah, try and help the community grow, I guess.
Yeah, so what did we have? We had six?
I think we had six, yeah.
6 entrants, and yeah, they all did reasonably well.
Yeah.
Pending the conditions, but yeah, hoping for some more next year.
Yeah, I think like to be able to use a FoilDrive and get yourself through a downwind run, like there's so many more people that do downwind runs but don't want to enter events because it's, I don't know, it's the pressure of the event and it's a race and they don't want to be a burden on other people. But if you can use another tool that helps you be confident enough to finish, conditions today definitely played a factor, but like tricky. The first event we ran, or the guys here in Sydney ran, it was barely any wind and barely any bumps, and everyone's watching me like scoot by on a FoilDrive going, oh man, I wish I had some help. So, it's having the right tool for the right job on the right day, and if that helps more people get into this sport and do it safely, that's sort of what we go for. But yeah,
it's a nice safety buffer.
Yeah.
For people that are trying the sport.
Yeah.
And, it's a big thing heading out to sea. So
definitely.
having those little backups and safety sort of nets is pretty handy for everyone, I think.
Definitely. But this spot's great too, because you've obviously got the surf right here and it's a bit protected in these conditions. But yeah, to get the surf as well and get out there and have some fun, and a few guys having demos and whatnot. So
do you want to tell us just a bit about yourselves and your involvement with FoilDrive, just so we know who you are?
Yeah, sure. You start, Matty.
Start? Rightio. Yeah, so I joined FoilDrive probably 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I was with another brand for a while, doing some e-foiling and whatever, and found FoilDrive through actually James Casey. Casey, I had a lesson with James, and just that startup phase where you're learning and James said, look, there's a product available that can pop you up, and you can get on foil a little bit longer and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I brought a FoilDrive, and that was the start of my journey, and never looked back. And it's all for me. It's all about getting on foil and more time on foil, and it's been such a great journey for me.
Yeah.
But my name's Matthew McKinnon, so
Start with that.
yeah.
The Sandy Foiler.
The Sandy Foiler's me. Yeah, on Instagram. So give me a follow.
Yeah. Well, you're doing for this summer in Australia, he's got the work van full of gear and demo equipment and all that kind of stuff. So sort of
crazy.
bouncing.
You rocked up today with 4 foil drives, and we're just handing them out like candy.
Yeah, it's like you get a battery and you get a battery.
So eventually we're hoping to come over to WA and meet all you guys. Obviously I've listened to the podcast for a couple of years now. But yeah, would love to get over there and experience WA. But for now, I've got the demo van. I'll be heading up the East Coast, sort of up to the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
But looking forward to coming over one day, mate.
And then I'm excited. Behind the scenes, you're doing a bit of help with the website and the that sort of back end side of things of the web that he's helping with us with.
The tech stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a bit boring though. So
it's not as fun to talk about, but it's what makes this thing. If you can't buy the damn thing, then what's the point of it being in existence, I guess.
Yeah.
So that behind the scenes stuff and a bit of the marketing and socials and all that kind of stuff with Caitlin as well. So and then I'm Ben. I'm one of the founders.
There we go.
I hate the limelight like that. We're just doing our stuff. Everyone's just trying to do their thing.
He's just a dude. Just a guy that foils.
Loves the foil drive.
Exactly. Yeah, one of the founders. My side of the business is more of the thing exists. We have them. How do we get them to people? How to make people make sure that they know about it and can get the most help and support with any part of it, whether it's before or after they decide to grab one. That sort of anything in that realm lands on my lap to deal with. But we've got an amazing team of 30 people now worldwide. So it's definitely a team effort. Certainly something that the key people that you might see online that associate with FoilDrive, we get all the limelight, but it's the whole team behind the scenes. You've been down to the workshop and seen what goes into it. So,
just one final question.
Sure.
How do you FoilDrive has been a business that's just grown so quickly?
Yeah.
How do you cope with that?
He doesn't. I'll tell you this. I know when I started with FoilDrive, they're like, look, it's all pretty on the other side, but as soon as you come and start with FoilDrive, there's a lot of work to do, a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
As what Benny just said, but they work really hard, and Paul and Ben really are passionate about the quality of the product and everyone's feedback, online. They really care about the product. But it's been a big year for the guys.
It's certainly hard, but I think the one thing I always say when it gets really just stressful or there's so much going on, your eyes are hanging out your head, you're so tired, and there's people coming at you from everywhere trying to get stuff done. At least we're not selling mattresses. That's my favourite line. And whenever I say it to someone when they're stressed as well, they're just shit.
It's selling something sick.
Technically, I'm working right now. Technically, this is amazing. I love hanging out at the beach with no shoes on, hanging out with like-minded people who are enjoying using our product, and all that hard work and all the stress and the strain and all that. Sure, it's 100% there, and you have to recognize that. But as soon as you kind of, someone shakes your hand, looks deep into your eyes and says thanks so much for making this, that's the flip side of it that kind of takes it all away. But it's not sustainable forever, that's for sure. You gotta, and that's why we're putting so much effort into growing the team and finding the right people to help out in certain areas and take responsibility for certain bits, so that we want to make sure that everyone can get this thing and then it can keep getting better and better. But we can't keep burning ourselves out the first few years always are. It's a learning curve to deal with it is the short answer, but at least we're not selling mattresses.
Sweet, thanks guys.
That's
perfect.
Awesome.
Cool. If you want to just introduce yourself and just tell us about your day today, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Yep. I'm Trent Gordan from the Sunshine Coast, and we're at the Northern Beaches Sydney Downwind race today. and it's been a great weekend. We flew down from the coast yesterday morning, so we're doing like a Saturday morning mission, early flight. We fly out tonight, and so just came down for the race today. And
Far out, it's a mission for you guys. Hey, you've had a solid weekend.
Yeah, and our flight was cancelled on Saturday morning.
Oh,
I got a 3 a.m. notification that said, your flight's been cancelled. And I thought it was only 1 hour delay, but realised that it was a whole 24 hours. So we rang Virgin and moved our flight from Brisbane to the Sunshine Coast, ended up midday down here, and just made the run that everyone was doing on Saturday.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
So how's the weekend been for you?
Probably my best result, like what I feel is my best race. It's really competitive, like a lot of good guys here today. And so ended up 11th overall, first in the 40s. So I had an amazing start. I normally have a little bit of trouble on the start every now and again, and just got a perfect bump. Went straight into a swell. I think that I was probably leading for a K or two, right up there. So
epic.
Yeah. Awesome.
How about the rest of the week? How was the run yesterday?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought we're super spoiled on the Sunshine Coast. You've probably spoiled in WA as well.
Yeah.
The backwash is intense. I thought far out. How are we even going to do it? And just
turned it around.
Yeah, I just took it easy on the run yesterday, and then today it was more manageable. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Do you, what's it like on the sunny coast? Like, what's the foiling there like?
I think it's a great spot to learn compared to here. Like here, we had maybe 5 or 6 headlands to go around before over that sort of 17 Ks.
And the backwash is crazy.
I think for us, where I live at Watala, we've got a 13K run, no headlands. So it's just beach all the way.
Is there a road that runs along the beach?
Yeah.
Sick.
So the car shuttles, so it's awesome. You sit with your mates anyway and just chat about what you're going to do. But we just run up the Oceanic Drive on Nicklin Way, 13K run, or if we want to go further, we can go all the way to Sunshine Beach and get 45 Ks. And
sweet.
So that's what we're planning for the next Bum Punters race. So last October we had Coolum to Moffat Beach and got like 25 or 30 people, and James won that. And this year, people are more used to it. I feel like the whole level of everyone's getting a bit better.
It is.
So we want to do from Sunshine Beach to Moff, so 45 Ks.
Sick.
So we want to be the long race in Australia. So
do you know, I heard Zane Westwood talking about it.
Yeah.
He was like keen to organise at some point, or get someone to organise like a 100K race.
Yeah.
Like a long one.
Yeah.
Like what do you think of that?
He mentioned it to me, and he was like, "Oh, look, he'd do like a Hawaii thing, the Molokai, how they do like a prerequisite to get in, like whether it's invite or whether or not you've got to have done a certain distance." He goes, "Would you be interested?" And I thought, yeah, like for sure. I don't know what 100 Ks it would be. If it was 100 Ks of that, no.
Oh, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Imagine. Like,
yeah. So 100 Ks on the coast, like we've often talked from Double Island Point to Caloundra would be 100, and I feel like that would be okay. But
it'd be a pretty sick race. Like the top guys would get in under 4 hours. Yeah. 100 Ks.
Yeah.
So that's like the good time period.
Yeah, I reckon that's about the distance or the limit you could push for without having to come down and rest or something like that. We have done like Bribie Island at Wurrum to Noosa, and that was 85 and felt okay after that. Like
sick.
Sort of weren't pushing fully. That was just last year before Molokai.
And you didn't come down? Or
no,
you aced it?
Yeah, didn't fall.
Far out, dude. That's sick.
Yeah. So, Tibby and Westy and Kai and myself, we did that.
Epic.
And
so today, did you ace the run today?
Yeah. Yep. And yesterday.
Sweet. You guys just ace every run now.
Yeah, New South Wales, I didn't actually fall. So,
sick.
I didn't even
2
pick
paddle
it
ups the entire trip.
Yeah.
How good's that?
Yeah, stokes. I never even thought of that. But, it was enjoyable. I loved it. It's cool. The vibe here is awesome.
Yeah.
Hugh put on a great event, and I don't know, it feels like it's just getting better. We seem to know everyone better, and it's just getting comfortable. It's good.
Yeah, it's so sick. I feel like the vibe is just so good.
Yeah.
It's like everyone is just incredibly like inviting and having fun, and it doesn't matter what level you're at either. That's why I love if you pull out of the race, like today, if you didn't feel comfortable doing the race, that's like completely okay. Like everyone's been there. So
it's like freaking 6 foot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you gotta get used to being in ocean to be out there for sure. So.
Yeah, that was a mega paddle out as well. Like,
oh, far out. We were like, I was tracking it on my watch. I started my watch from the beach.
Yep.
We were over a K out from like where we started.
Yeah,
But
and it felt like the bumps just didn't get there, and then finally, like right when we got to that limit, it just sort of, you know, like the guys must have known like that's where it was going to be, and yeah, I thought far out, this is going to be interesting, and then it got better, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, sick. Yeah. Thanks for that.
No worries. Oh, come on.
Oh wait, we'll finish by. Do you want to just hold up the plaque?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, epic.
Do you want to just give us a quick introduction of who you are, how you got here, and how this week's gone, Andrew?
Yeah, so my name's Andrew Gibbons. I'm from Maui, Hawaii originally, but I live on Oahu now. I actually used to live at Long Reef about 13 years ago for a little while, so I know the area somewhat well. I used to work at WSS and things, so it's cool to come back and go down memory lane. Yeah, flew 10 hours to get here, and I'm here for 3 days and go back tomorrow. So it was a fun little, strike mission.
Yeah.
Some epic conditions.
Do you have any jet lag
No.
from the flight? No. Okay.
I'm pretty good with jet lag. Like I just stick to as soon as I leave, like I just get on where I'm going's time zone and just stick it out. And then, anyway.
Sweet.
Yeah.
How was your race?
My race was interesting. Overall, I'm pretty stoked with my performance, but it was a rocky start. Like stood up on my board and then got stuck behind a few people, had to wait for a bump. So I was probably like 30 seconds, 45 seconds behind by the time I got going. And after that though, it's fun being behind because I can see everyone in front of me and like kind of pick my line based on everybody else and know if what I'm doing is working or if it's not working, and you can never, it's very hard to catch someone on the same line. So you just, you have a good opportunity to adjust your strategy constantly.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
yeah, once I got going, I had a great time catching up with people and weaving through the pack, and then I was getting pretty worried towards the end that I might not catch the leaders.
Yeah.
They still had a pretty good lead on me, and then coming around the corner, all of a sudden I hooked into a few really good ones, and then I was right up there and then caught a wave with Oscar in and had to run up the beach and finish second. So we had overall a good race, and
congrats.
Yeah, thank you. So
what floors were you riding?
I was on the Florence 110 from Lyft.
Yeah.
With a 28-inch mast and a 20 carved tail.
Sick.
Yeah.
And is that kind of your go-to setup for everywhere?
That's what I rode on Molokai for M2M and M2O this year. I ride it probably 90% of the time I'm downwinding. And it's a great foil for just about any condition we have in Hawaii.
Yeah.
As long as there's some groundswell or fast-moving bump, it'll get going.
Do you feel like you could go smaller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of people gravitating towards the 600 size. And I think I could get down there. It's nice having a little bit more area for the low end parts, but particularly in Hawaii where we've got big fast moving groundswell, there's still bumps I see running under me that I can't catch on the 110 that I have. But
what was your strategy today, bump reading wise? How are you going fast? How are you catching people?
So a lot of it was being patient and waiting for the good ones.
Yeah.
You have so much backwash, waves can come and go at a moment's notice. Mm-hmm. And so you're kind of just sitting there waiting for a good one to come up underneath you. And then once you notice it start to drop out in front of you, you've got to get on the hammer to accelerate and catch up to it.
Yeah.
It's, I think a lot of people get really antsy about chasing the bump in front of you because you see it, but you can't always get it. And you've just got to kind of be patient and
wait for the quick bumps.
Wait for the right bump to come underneath you. You still, and then once you get it, hammer, and keep your speed.
Yeah. So the times where you're going for it, really pumping hard, is not necessarily when you're going slow and you're trying to build speed.
Yeah.
It's more when you feel like you're about to go really fast.
Yeah. That's the hardest moments of pumping are where I'm either just cresting the back of a wave in front of me and I'm trying to drop into it.
Yeah.
And that's where you're building your acceleration to get over the top.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, Andrew. That was great. Thanks, man.
Yeah, likewise.
What's going on?
Yep.
Do you want to just give us an introduction about yourself and how you've enjoyed Sydney so far?
For all those listening and can't see the video, I'm currently talking to Trevor King. I used to live in Tamarama and Bondi, so I love coming back here because it's great. But I have since lived in LA for 5 years and then Byron for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And let's just say I wasn't foiling, wasn't downwinding while I lived in Sydney. And even in Byron, the south swells mixed with like strong south winds, I hate those runs.
Yeah.
It's always messy, it's crazy. And Hugh, the day before, you had a mishap. Have you guys talked about that? Does everyone know about this?
I started the whole thing by just doing a little monologue about my experience.
Oh, yeah,
I thought
okay.
it was
Yeah.
We do this segment called Foiling Stories on the podcast.
I know the foiling stories, yeah.
So if you got, like, I don't know, maybe at some point if you had a foiling story you want to share.
Yeah.
I've shared mine. It was pretty, Yeah, we've talked about how...
Yeah.
That was
So
a good
Hugh
sketch.
had... What was that? That was Friday. Was it Friday?
Yeah.
You had that, and I was so inspired by Hugh that I went out and had my same thing. So I went out here with like 8 of the best foilers in the world, including Hugh, and then ended up down there on the shore break, which was about a 6-foot Waimea shore break closeout, because I had a new board and just wasn't properly tuned. So yesterday was a nightmare. So today, going into this race, I had not zero confidence, but my confidence was shook.
Yeah.
But I just love the fact that there's all these people here and the support of everyone kind of like gets you through that kind of negativity, and you just like just optimism kind of takes over.
Yeah,
You're just like, I'm gonna make it. I'll make it. I hope I make it. I will make it. Whatever you want to think. So I made it. Middle of the pack. Super stoked because yesterday was a nightmare, and again, it's like just overcoming these like little things in downwinding where I've now done a run that's this long and in the worst conditions that I hate these conditions. I hate southerly with the reverb and like south, just
It's
like
not the
wind
best,
from one
hey?
angle, the swell from another angle, the reverb from another angle. It's not the best. So overcoming that and just completing it and coming to the finish line and having everyone there was just so good.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best story ever. How sick was that?
So
Do you want to tell us a bit about the shore break yesterday? Because honestly, I reckon what happened to you was more gnarly than what I did.
Yeah,
Just
it was way more. I actually think it was the gnarliest water situation I've ever been in.
Wow.
I went down. My mast wasn't in the right spot on this run, and then I kind of like about 1.5 kilometers, kind of like was like, fuck, do I go, keep going?
Yeah.
And like, even if I get on foil, I might come down. But if I run out of steam, I'll paddle all the way to Palmy or paddle back. And so I thought, man, I'll just go straight into the beach. And I tried, my theory was like, just get on a bomb, take it to the beach, try to outrun it, and that just didn't work. I ran into the back of another bomb, and I came to a standstill and looked behind me, and it was just double overhead, top to bottom, boom. And I literally just dove sideways, threw my paddle, the waistband strap, or the leg rope on the waist snapped without me even feeling the pull. Like it was just that quick.
Bang.
Yeah. But then I got pinned to the sand. And without
a
life jacket on, I honestly would have been like, I came up and just was like dead, like with no energy. And then there was still 2 more sets coming, and I dove down and somehow just like got through them. And I got to the beach slowly, but luckily it was a kind of shore break. It was like just not far to go to. And I got to the beach, and I literally almost crawled up on hands and knees, like out of the water.
Oh wow! What happened to your board? Like, it just got swept up?
It was everything was on the beach, just like there before me. So nothing broke, except for the leg rope. And I mean, I survived it. It was one of those things that I didn't tell my wife because she would have killed me. Like it was one of those things where I was just like shaken to the core.
Yeah, that's so fair. Well, I tried not to tell my mum about the experience on Friday. But Huey put it all on his story, and Mum follows him. So she was like, "What the fuck, what were you doing out there?" Anyway, but we've both had a rattling experience this trip, and it's good. I feel like it's nice when you come out the other side and you're okay, and you go, well, at least I can cope in that situation.
It's a good like kind of metaphor for downwinding in itself. You have like you when you get good at it, you have really good days, and then all of a sudden you'll have a really bad day.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, but I've been doing it for 2 years. Why am I having a bad day? But then you have a good day again, and it's just...
It all gets better.
It all does,
Yeah. But it's the same when you're learning, hey, isn't it? You have these massive highs and then lows.
Yeah.
And as you get better, I think the lows are shorter.
Yeah, definitely
but
shorter.
They still
hit
happen.
you hard.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Trevor. That was great. Cheers.
Thanks. Awesome.
Oh, these little ones. Like that?
Yeah.
Well,
the
no,
microphone's
it's
up
this
like
way.
this. Yeah.
I'll just stick it on.
Easy.
I'll be cool like you.
Yeah, what were we call? Someone was calling it the dead pussycat.
Yes.
On your chest.
That's what I call him, dead cat.
Dead cat, yeah.
You don't need the pussy bit. The dead pussy cat. The dead pussy.
All right, what are you holding here, Dave?
This is a first place placard for $750. You hear that, Jeremy? Jeremy is the reason that I entered FoilDrive, because he entered and I was like, I have to beat him.
Yeah.
So, like, come on in here, mate.
Do you want to just take? Why don't you just take this mic? I've done it.
No.
Yeah,
get a mic
crack
up. Hold on. Okay. Yes, sir.
No.
Well,
you just both wear them. This is good. I don't want to
Okay.
interview. We currently have Jeremy Wilmotte and Dave West sitting down about to interview each other.
Let's start from the scratch. So we turn up, and you're teasing me because I'm using a battery. Is that good? Is that that's better. Oh, we look terrible on that.
Got the camera, man.
Oh shit! People don't want to see your face.
Yeah, it's not a podcast. This is a video.
Hey, give me that back.
Hey. Do I deserve that because I motivated you?
Yeah. I got you, bro.
This is the most casual podcast.
Righto.
But that's all right.
That's good.
So what happened?
Yes, pretty much. You got jealous because I wasn't going to have to use a paddle.
No, I didn't want you to win.
And you made sure about that, didn't you?
And think about this. I just beat Australia's best prone surfer in a race.
Yeah, but it's in the ocean. That's not prone.
No, it all counts. What happened to you?
I struggled. I don't practice. Yeah. Practice makes perfect, dude. You were born for this.
What about yesterday, Dave?
So yesterday, this did contribute. So yesterday, one of the boys, who won't be named, Alex Tivy, was like, yeah, it's nuking, because it was nuking yesterday. Still, it was probably 20 to 30, and I put the 680 on, and it took me about 3-4 minutes to get up. I was already feeling a bit car sick from the plane and the car drive. And then I got up, hardest paddle up in my life, like probably 2 minutes, just
Was it harder than today?
Oh, yeah.
There was more wind today. Yesterday.
I found harder yesterday.
Yesterday was way harder.
Really?
Yeah.
It was It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was too much going on.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That was,
it was definitely
that
bigger
was pretty
yesterday.
easy. That was easy relative to yesterday. And then I was okay. But I wasn't going that fast, even with the 680, just because of the way the energy was going. So then I fell off. Which one's that? What is it? Avalon? No, not Avalon.
Narrabeen.
No, next one. Monoval.
Oh, did you start up there? Up
No, I
at
fell
Manly?
off there. That's where I fell off.
Yeah, but you started at Manly.
No, I started here.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I fell off at Monoval Headland, and then I got seasick.
So is it true then? So you actually can get seasick?
Oh, 100%.
Did your cat get sick as well at the same time?
My pussy.
So it's a real excuse.
This is the pussycat.
Real excuse, yeah?
So I came in, I got up again, and I came in because I felt horrible. And then I got destroyed by the shory. Because I came through the shory. Oh, that's mine, Lisa.
And I heard that...
Lisa, that's mine.
How was it go? You guys had to rescue a wing, and then the cops took it because you couldn't...
Jerks?
What? How's that? How's this in society? You're literally bringing it back to someone and like, no, it
Exactly.
has to go through official things.
We ran a kilometre down the beach to get the wing, thinking, well, it'll be easier for us to get in contact with the people. And then the police were like, no, we need to take it because there's been an official report.
I saw that. I was like, oh my God, where are we going?
We
with
were being such dickheads. We were like filming and stuff. Yeah, didn't have fun yesterday. Lost a lot of confidence. So, did you lose confidence from
Friday?
From Friday?
I did lose confidence. This has already been discussed multiple
Oh,
times.
okay.
We don't probably need to drag it
All
on
right.
again.
But now you've got confidence that you're like a winning downwinder now. You don't have to.
My first and last podium.
You like, mate. Even James didn't beat you. Oscar.
That's what I said to James.
You just always got to enter in your own division, eh?
Just create my own division.
Yeah.
I still think. I think it shouldn't be on age. It should be on weight. There should be weight categories. It should be.
Next time, I'm not going to motivate you to go in it, and then I might have a better chance.
Yeah. Because I think
You
you
come third then, right?
Oh, I openly said I was going FoilDrive ages ago.
I said it too.
Did you?
Yeah. But everybody was giving me crap for it. and then I set up my sub, and then when the boys left to do the car shuffle, I changed my mind because they weren't here to influence me.
I saw you set up your sup, and I was like, "What the hell did you do that for?" When you were actually going on the floor?
Because I
just mind games.
As
you
of
know,
this
he's got the
morning-
best mind games. Have you picked up on how many mind games Oscar plays with?
Oh yeah. Jimmy and Oscar, they're the mind game kings.
Yeah, Oscar.
Like Huey's getting into it now. He's taken down his Garmin tracking.
Does he?
It's not public anymore. Have you noticed that?
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't following it, to be honest.
I was, because I always check in. I'm like, how's Huey going? And yeah, now you can't see. Because I wanted to see his Friday run. Yeah, he's like hiding his. That's a sign that you're ultra competitive.
So, hey, what do you reckon? You're the winning guy. You know the most about this. On the FoilDrive.
Yep.
You got up easy.
Yep.
What was hard? What was easy? What was bad?
So not having a paddle is way harder, for sure. Because you can't, up and over is easy. And
that's for speed, right? For the average punter.
So I reckon I'm probably 10 to 15 seconds slower. Just because of that.
So
variable.
racing mode, yeah.
And then as long as your pod's set up right, it's not too bad. But if you're a more beginner foil driver and your pod's lower, you will struggle because the pod can catch water. But Josh's RTS Amos Cruiser.
RTS, now available online.
What does RTS? What does RTS stand for?
Recess.
Hey, yes, to check.
Recess track system.
Recess track system.
And it also has flawless connection with the Bluetooth connectivity.
Flawless. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Flawless.
Flawless.
Damn.
Please do not email.
So I think flawless.
Please email Josh.
No warranty claims needed.
If you want to win races on a foil drive, please get one of these.
That was the variable. It wasn't that I downwind 3 to 4 times a week. It was the blue RTS
And you got more skill.
Amos Cruiser. If you were on that, you would have won.
I reckon
that's the takeaway.
I reckon someone on a FoilDrive is gonna at least match the speed of someone. So.
You reckon? Well, we should put Jimmy on one.
Because why can't
Jimmy
you?
was going to do it, but because he had a bad shoulder, but then his shoulder's been alright.
Okay.
So why can't you use the FoilDrive instead of when you're trying to up and over, you'd slow down when you?
Because it's not. You need to be going 27 k's, like 26, 27 k's an hour when you're up and overing, if not 30.
And your paddle's pushing you up as well. Isn't
Exactly.
It? Yeah.
And the prop is going to create drag, and it's sitting lower, and you can't get that up.
Yeah.
It's not the right speed. If you're using the motor when you're downwinding, you're going pretty slow. You're going too slow. So I use 4% battery. How much did you use?
You don't use 4% on the small battery.
I use it all just to get out.
Mate, I use like 30% just to get out.
No, that's what I'm saying. What did you count from when you started?
Oh, I got down to like 15%.
So I was 64 when I started, and I was 60 when I came in.
But I'm not talented like you. I fell off.
You
a
are
lot.
so. You're Australia's
I
best
fell off
proner.
a lot.
You're Australia's best prone surfer. But
Nah,
how come
but
you
I
can't
reckon
do that,
that-
but you do 70k runs? You don't make any sense.
On that 70k run or 80k run or 78 kilometers, I think I fell 5 times in one section, which was horrible.
It's about 5 times over the whole run.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
But normally, like
78k.
mate, I don't know. Like if you go sub downwinding, you shouldn't be falling. A lot of people carry on about aces. You should just do it. But
yeah, aces.
I hardly ace anything.
Oh really? You always fall down.
You're not surfing hard enough if you don't fall.
Yeah. No.
I cannot fall in certain days, but days like yesterday, everyone falls pretty much, except the top 5%.
But even today as well,
And I'm not
like
in the top 5%.
the reason I fell off was that backwash at the end of before you got to Palm Beach. You can't help it ending up on the uphill as you're losing speed from going down.
There's always a better option.
Yeah,
Wait,
well-
Hugh needs to interview us.
You're done.
We're just
I need
gasbagging.
to. I need you to teach me.
That was like the best.
Put us on a podcast. We don't stop talking.
Yeah, it's great.
We've
thanks,
got.
guys.
We've got 3 podcasts.
I know. I'm well aware. And now
Sorry, I mean to you. So tired. So tired, dude. It's crazy.
Well, that's the best way to start, Josh. Big weekend for you, hey?
Oh, crazy. Like,
that took so much of my mental capacity. Like I do it because I love it, but like far out trying to organize a downwind race around like you want wind, but we had like cyclonic wind where it was like too much and we're worried that we have to like cancel the event. But it panned out perfect. We were kind of like on the tail end of a storm, and today we had like 20 knots of wind, still kind of bigger waves than I forecasted, which kind of scared a couple crew off, but like majority, I think we had 50 starters and I think maybe 45 finished, which is a good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good. I'm stoked at that. I was worried we're going to have a race where like 50 started and 10 finished. Like that wouldn't be good. But no, it was a success, major success. Like couldn't have gone any better.
I feel like everyone today left just feeling chuffed.
Yeah.
Like, in some way.
No, it was super nice. Literally, I feel like everyone at the event thanked me and congratulated me for putting on the event, and like that means the world because, you know, I'm not making any money out of this. It's just nice to be able to grow the sport and see the community actually getting around it. Because that's the hardest thing. Like, I think when we first put out that we were doing the race, like 20 people signed up and I was like, what? Because last year we had like 50 and I was just like, I anticipated in my head that we're going to have 100. But I got a feeling that like, probably similar to like your Perth races, that we have so many more crew that downwind there on the northern beaches, but the conditions the last few days and today
have just been gnarly.
They're gnarly and they're not user friendly. So usually this time of year we're doing the run the opposite way and it's like much more user friendly. So, you know, we were dealt that curveball of kind of more technical, advanced downwinding, and it was still nice that 50 people entered. So I'm stoked.
So stoked.
Yeah.
Do you want to, from your perspective, just what has this weekend felt like? Starting maybe Thursday. So I rocked up Thursday.
Yeah.
We did the downwinder. Then you dragged me into the craziest experience of my entire life. And then, like, how are you fitting? Like, Josh did a downwinder the 3 days before the race.
Yeah.
Like, and fitting in all the logistics of that, plus organisation, plus all these other things. Yeah, it's just been crazy. I don't know if you want to walk us through that.
No, that's it's not uncommon for me to get in the water every day. Like usually most days I'll get in the water, whether it's downwinding or doing whatever, like going for a wing or a prone foil. But like we honestly had the best forecast.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was so pumped when you said you'll come in those few extra days around the event, because I was like, literally every day is firing. So I think on that Thursday that you rocked up, we did our local run, which is Maroubra to Bondi, and I did the fastest times that I've ever done on that run. I think you had like a pretty good run.
Yeah, I was pretty happy. Yeah. I mean, I realized I took the 720 and I took your board and I went, this is probably not the right foils for here, which you were laughing about a lot, actually.
I think it's just like, I was so excited to show you my local because like I've been to Perth multiple times now. I feel like I know that place probably just as good as the locals. I don't want to say, I don't want to be tooting my own horn, but I feel like I've got Perth's pretty wired. Like, I don't know. I
don't reckon Perth takes too many runs to get like locked in. Like,
Totally.
I really don't know, unless it's a crazy day, nothing really happens that I'm not predicting anymore. Like I can predict, like as long as it's not over 35 knots, you sort of know exactly what's going to happen.
Totally, and
so
I feel
it's so
like
different coming somewhere that you don't know that.
Yeah, and like I was just so excited to show like an out-of-towner what we experienced, because I feel like, you know, James and I, who are pretty vocal online, we always talk about like, you know, how Sydney's got tricky conditions and stuff, but we get so many, like we don't get enough visitors to experience it. So when you rocked up on those like conditions, I was like, yes, like I was excited to show you like what juice we get. And then the following day I planned with a friend the logistics of doing like one of the bigger runs that we do here. It's like Maroubra to Palm Beach, so it's roughly like 50 kilometers, and that day was like stupid. Like we were looking the night before on Seabreeze and there was like brown arrows. I don't think I've ever seen brown arrows before.
Oh, we get them in Perth.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but like that, the day you were here over in Perth and we got that crazy.
Oh, they were brown?
That was brown.
Right.
But it's something different about the ocean here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not protected by anything.
Yeah, we get a lot of open ocean swell. And even though that day it was like, I think people were recording like 50 knot gusts and stuff, we get swell when there's that much wind versus I think like, you know, when we had that day in Perth a couple months ago,
no swell.
There was still like wind swell, so like big for Perth, but like it's still like totally manageable. And
yeah, there's nothing that's like triple head height or quadruple head height out there. Which is what you had.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we paddled out, and as soon as we got out there, I kind of was like, whoa, we're in some serious ocean here. But that was an experience, and I'm stoked that you came along for that, because like I really wanted to throw you in the deep end because I knew you were completely capable of doing it. But when we got out there, because I've done runs in like size that big before, but not 50 knots. Like 50 knots is out of control, and the direction that it was pointing was not like parallel to the coast. It was pointing out to sea. So
I'll try and drop a clip of Josh's track here, because that was what blew my mind the most. You see it, he like is heading out to sea for the first 20 Ks.
Yeah.
And then you felt like you were still getting pulled out to sea, but then you just made the mental decision to start cutting back.
Well, the reason why I was going with the wind was because the swell was so big that I didn't want to go down it. And when you were going down the swell, it was like cross into you. And when you get 50 knot gusts that are pushing under your board and making it wobble, like every time I tried to go down the swell, it just felt like I was going to fall off. So I just kept cutting right. And that also, when I cut right, I wasn't actually going down the swells. So I was safety surfing pretty much. I was just surviving. Like, so many people asked me like, how was that run? And I was like, you know what? It was an experience. I wouldn't say it was enjoyable or fun, but it was like, it was survival. And like, I don't know, I love testing myself in stuff like that because I just get my thrills out of that. I like to accomplish something that, you know, might seem crazy or dangerous, but like, I like to see if my skills can match what Mother Nature throws at me. And that day I feel like I just got away with it because I was cutting, and I didn't realize that I was cutting so far out until my phone started blowing up on the freaking, like my smartwatch started blowing up, and I just kept looking, like, this is while I'm foiling, like looking, and then I also had like my MP3 headphones on and people are calling nonstop, and I'm trying to just focus, and then I end up taking a call, and Jimmy's calling me going like, where are you? And I'm like, I think I'm at Southhead, because it was like pissing down rain, couldn't see where I was going. And he was like, all right, sweet, I'm about to jump off Manly, like I'll try time it with you. And then I had like my friend who's a lifeguard trying to call me like 3 times, and eventually like I picked up on the third one because I was like, why is this guy calling me so much? And then he's calling me, I could barely hear him because it's so windy. And he's like, are you okay? I heard you out to sea. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm doing a downwind, I'm all good. And he was like, where's Oscar? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know. I haven't seen him like literally since we started. And then I started getting in my head going like, oh fuck, is Oscar missing? Like I started like wigging out a little bit. And then I think I came down, and as I was down, you called me to say that you were all good.
Yeah, I was just calling. Like, I had a feeling that you might be finished. And I was calling you to just say, like, don't worry about me. I'm chill.
Yeah.
But like in those winds, there was no point in me calling you. It would probably
there was, because like at least I could tick you off in my head. I was like, okay, Hugh's sweet. He said he's good.
Yeah.
I think I told you that I was good.
Yeah,
right?
I think. Well, I can't remember hearing that, but I just It's like
you knew I was still alive.
The fact that you picked up and said some stuff that seemed logical, I was like, all right, he's good.
And there was also another time when I was out there and I was down, and like I just was like, I have to check. But why is my phone blowing up? And I checked, and it was like the local downwind group that we're in that I shared my WhatsApp location in. And then I seen like someone texted in it going, Cooey's not going to be able to get back in. He's like fucking 7 Ks out to sea. And then I started wigging out going like, oh fuck, because I couldn't see anything. It was pissing down rain. I couldn't even see the coastline. And I was like, fuck, am I 7 Ks out to sea? Like, and then I was like, okay, I can't keep going with the wind, because I keep going with the wind, I'm never going to be able to come back in. So I started trying my best to cut in and go with the swells, and the wind was like throwing me off. I think throughout the whole run, I probably came off 10 times, and like trying to stand in ocean when it's that big and angry, like
It's impossible.
Oh, it's so
Well, it's not
hard.
impossible,
It's
but-
so hard. It's like you're standing up and you've got like 20 footers rolling through you, and then you got 50 knot gusts that are trying to push you off your board as you stand up. And like some of the paddle ups were so weird. Like I was paddling, and then all of a sudden like the wave like nearly broke, and like, you know, you do like one paddle and all of a sudden like, whoa, I'm on foil again. Whoa, fuck. Like,
yeah.
it was
Well, the
wild.
one paddle up I did, I'm pretty sure I did 2 paddle strokes. Like the thing that was tripping me out is I fully am used to like nursing it up.
Yeah.
Like you just need to pump until you get up.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do that initially, but that was not the strategy at all. The strategy was to stay balanced and then just get lifted onto foil.
Yeah, totally.
Like it was wild because that's what probably 50 knot gusts do. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. So different.
But yeah, that was like, and I think like subconsciously, I really wanted to do that run because our race was like a couple of days later, and I wanted to show to our local community, like, no, you can downwind in these conditions, like for sure. Like, you know, it might only been like 4 of us doing it, but in the days after that, the predictions were that the swell and the wind was really dropping out. So I was like, you know, if I can downwind on this day, everyone can downwind
Tomorrow.
2 days later,
And yeah,
you
2
know?
days later, yeah.
And then that kind of leads me to the next day where we had the code fun run, and it was like, it felt like child's play compared to the day before. Like it was sunny, you know, it was half the wind. It was probably only like 20, 22 knots, maybe 25. And
It
like
felt like a mill pond.
Yeah, and
not quite,
and the
but-
swell was like, you know, swell was still probably what, 8 footers out there.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Maybe
still the
some
big
10
swells
footers.
were like, you sit down the bottom and people disappear.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see everyone with that swell rolling through.
But it just, everything felt safer.
Yeah, so
everything
much
just
safer.
felt like, you know, even if you did get in trouble, like, you know, we're on the northern beaches then, so if we did get in trouble, there's a beach everywhere. You can just go in. Versus the run that we did, there's like a huge dead zone that, like, you know, after Bondi for 10 Ks, there's nothing. There's cliffs. Like you got to make your own way to wherever your safety is.
Yeah.
But yeah, then that leads us to
Today.
to today, the race day. We got up and there was still reports of like some of the safety crew going like, oh, it's still kind of big. Like it's not. It was supposed to be like 1.5 meters.
The swell probably wasn't that much smaller.
It wasn't, was it? No.
No, it was still probably the same size, or maybe just a little bit smaller, but not like noticeably different.
Yeah, and a lot of crew said that they preferred today compared to yesterday. They reckon it was faster today, which was not what was predicted today.
Well,
the swell's supposed to be coming directly in at the beach, not downwind.
Yeah.
And there was definitely still swells out there that were going straight to the finish. And that's the reason why I chose a bigger foil, because I thought we'd just be ignoring those swells and pumping with the wind. So I went the 770, I sized up. But it was the wrong call. I should have been on the 680 because there was swells heading directly to the finish.
Yeah, and it was sick. That was a really fun race.
Yeah.
Like, I think for me, out of the 4 days that I have been gone for a downwind, the first day was like, opened my eyes to what the ocean was like. The second day just scared me to the absolute core. But no, it was good. But that was crazy. The third day was like, all right, let's get the bearings of things again. And I sort of got my confidence back. But that was still, I would say, like, a lot of people were finding that ocean pretty gnarly yesterday. And that's fair enough. Like, it was. Like, compared to the day before, it wasn't crazy, but still it was mental.
Yeah.
And then today was definitely, like, the wind had backed off, or maybe it was a slightly different direction. It felt like very mellow compared to the day before, I think. Even though it was quick, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I potentially was going faster today, but maybe that was because we were in a full race mode.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when you got people next to you, like, it pushes you. Like, when normally you would maybe just, like, peel off or do a top turn or a cutty or something. But no, it was cool. Like, you know, we had a really good safety briefing in the morning, and everyone was across everything. Like, there was no people that were like, there was a couple people that told me in the morning that they're just not up for it, and I was like, you know what, that's a good call. If you don't feel confident, don't go out there just because, you know, everyone else is going out there. So I respected those decisions that people did. And then, we had a good old safety briefing that kind of just informed everyone. You know, we had which was really nice as well, we had the foil assist division running exactly with the sup division.
Yep.
No dramas.
No.
Everyone was on the start line. No one complained about a foil driver cutting them off or a sup cutting off a foil driver, or I didn't hear of anyone whinging about boat wake or jet, because we had jet skis, like we had like all along the run with boats as well. So there was no issues with that, which was amazing.
It feels like, to me, coming from Perth and then doing this, we've sort of worked out how to do a sup race start. That's the feeling I'm getting. Like, I feel like the strategy is to put your paddles up and get everyone to be relatively close together. Don't try to avoid people paddling away from the pack to do their own thing. Because, like, that's what makes the race fair, too. Like, if you've got people going off to do their other line that they want, that's fine. But if you actually get everyone to start together, that's that should just be kind of like a race rule, and then that's making it more fair for everyone as well, which is cool. And the start was sweet. I think everyone got up right at the start, or at least knew when they had to paddle up, which is, that's all you can really ask for.
Totally, yeah.
So
it was a really fun start. Like, I don't know if could you hear it? I was just like, I was running off adrenaline. Like, it was just so cool because I felt like probably 70% of the pack all got up at once, and we all kind of hooked on the same swells, and everyone was taking the same lines. And it was so cool to see some people peel away, some people drop back. You know, I think I was having a really magic first K, and like, I didn't get up instantly. I went for a bump and I kind of paddled up a swell, and then I just went, okay, let that one go. And then another one came, and then people were probably like 50 meters or 100 meters in front of me, but I caught up to them like instantly. And then we were kind of like all together. Me, you, and Benny Raymond were all on the same bump.
Oh, we were on that same bump. Oh, that was Ben.
Oh, dude, it was so
That was wild.
sick.
I fully thought that like I was gonna like accidentally cross across someone without realizing, and they were just gonna run into the back of me. That's like what I was worried about. Like, and
I actually,
like, he cut me off.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, it was sick. I like that.
I forget, was it you or Benny? I was yelling at, oi, dude, if you cut right, tell me, because I was literally like, it felt like 2 meters to the side of him.
That when we were all on that bump together, there was not more than like, it was like a meter and a half gap, another meter and a half gap.
Because
Like,
I feel like we're all at the level now where we know what lines we want to take, and they're all relatively the same line.
Yeah, they're similar.
And then like you could see an opening happen, and everyone was going for the opening.
Yeah.
And like,
you all converge, and then you kind of, someone's got to chicken out.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
Yeah. But that
no,
was so fun.
I had a magic race. Hey, like, besides that little slow get up, which I think cost me probably 200-300 meters from the very front guys. I was stoked on my pace, and like, you know, I chose the safety option of, you know, this time last year I chose a foil that was way too small, and I was completely cooked. Like, I made the run, but I was like fully blowing a fuse because I was just so underfoiled. And this time I was like, you know what, I'm going to play the local card and learn from my mistakes and go the size up, but it didn't work in my favor. But I was still stoked. I got a 10th. So
yeah, sweet.
I'm stoked on that.
I'm super stoked too. I think I came in
stacked lineup.
Fully stacked,
Bro,
man.
Fucking.
I couldn't believe, like, the day before when we did the fun run, that's when it really hit me, like, how high the level is.
Yeah.
And then I was also thinking, like, Edo's not even here.
Yeah.
And like,
and he wanted to come. I spoke to him personally. He just got some visa issues at the moment. He really wanted to come. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's sick. And I reckon for the good guys, like, this is a sick location. Like, this is equivalent to probably Hawaii from what I've heard. Like, that race, maybe if it was something a little bit longer, has the potential to be like a really gnarly open ocean crossing, or not crossing, but something that's challenging.
We should do what we did on the Thursday, Maroubra to Palm Beach. That's 50 Ks.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. I actually, because the Hawaiians did so well, they got first and second. I actually went up to the end and I was like, you know, did you like the course? Did you like the conditions? And, you know, they were fired up. They were like, dude, that was fucking sick. They loved the energy. You know, Hawaiians are used to some big ocean stuff, and they loved the energy, and they loved the technical side of it. They said, you know, they kind of like how it, because I was like, do you like, because, you know, when you go to Maliko and stuff, everything's pretty groomed. Like, their Hawaii Kai run in Oahu is pretty crossed up as like what we just had. Not as crossed up, but they've got a section that's further up the point called ADs that's like very similar to what we just did. And they said, yeah, it reminds us heaps of ADs, and like they liked it. So
Stoked.
Yeah, I'm stoked because they said that they're gonna pipe it up when they go home and let everyone know. So we hope, next year we get 10 Hawaiians that come over.
Yeah.
And I just think it's cool. Like, I take my hat off to them because they beat the locals in their own spot.
Yeah.
And that's like,
it's probably very hard to beat James.
Totally.
Okay.
I honestly, I had my money on James because that guy knows that. But I think if you watch the recap, like, they all came in freaking
close,
super close. Like, it wasn't much in it.
Yeah.
But
I saw Nick at the start, and he must have been like 50 to 70 meters in front of everyone straight away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He said to me that James was 200 meters in front of him.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. He said James got up so freaking quick.
Yeah.
was
James
funny.
is up and gone. And then the cool thing that I really wanted to chat to both Nick and Perth, but I didn't get a chance to today. So maybe we'll talk to them at some later stage. But like Perth did a 150 out there.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he did that by hugging right next to the rocks and then like that was a crazy car, by getting the backwash and then like shooting off the rocks and kind of like across with it.
Oh, Perth sees things that other people can't see.
Oh, fully.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And the way he talks about it, you actually should talk to him because the way he describes things, he's like, oh yeah, I'll just pin it straight at the beach. And then when that dies out, I'll ride the backwash back into the right that's going out to sea. Like, I'm like, what? It's like he's speaking another language. It's crazy.
Yeah. But lots to learn. And there's like, the sport is progressing and it's progressing quickly.
It's good because I feel like too, as much as there's those guys who are like freaking definitely at the front.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the crew, like there's not, like I spoke to Barrett and she goes, yeah, you came in like a minute or 2 minutes after the front guys. Like you're not super far behind them. It's pretty close. So it's cool to see. It's really cool.
Yeah. And I also think like this is stuff like Perth where you can go, anyone could really race. I really think that like the Perth races should be like everyone, if you're there and you can downwind, you should enter. Because like you can do like nearly anyone, as long as you've like done some solid downwind runs before, you've done a 10K run confidently without like too many falls.
Yeah.
You can do like the Perth runs, and maybe this is like a step up on difficulty. But if you feel like you've got to that stage of like downwinding, but definitely achievable again as long as the conditions are like as they were today. And yeah, it's cool to see. It'd be cool to see like lots of people getting into it and not stressing so much about maybe coming first, but like just achieving like what you want to achieve. And that's what I was like most stoked of today, because the goal was never gonna be to be up with those top 3 guys or anything, but like
why not?
But well, yeah, maybe one stage
it can happen. Like it's like the thing that I learned in my very first race in Hawaii a few years ago was I didn't take it super seriously because I thought exactly that. I thought I didn't have a chance. And I remember I came in the M2M and I was like, I think I got 10th or something. And I was like, whoa. And I was like surfing and stuff. Like I was doing carves and I was like, whoa, I should have fucking been going way harder. I probably could have got like 5th.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no, it's like all the things that you like say that you deal with, like, oh, it was tricky doing this, tricky doing that. Like the other guys are dealing with that too.
It's true.
It's like, it's not just you.
Actually, that's what I was thinking out there today. I was like, I want to come up, like, I was thinking to myself, this should be my new motto. Like, no excuses, just like learning.
Yeah.
Because like, it's never, I don't know, I feel like for me, like there shouldn't be an excuse. At the end of the day, what's got you to that stage is like all the decisions you've made. And like for me, I've talked to so many people now, got like knowledge from so far that any decision I made should be like really well informed. And if I have just gone and like chose the wrong board, well, that's on me. Next time I'll make sure that I have the right equipment, and that's like, you shouldn't blame it. You just go, okay, I had the wrong equipment today.
It's
not
experience.
an excuse, but for next time I'll have the right one.
That's what it is. It's experience. And like, I think maybe if like what you said, you're not aiming to come first, but if you do enough of these races, you start seeing the people that you're consistently coming in around. And like, I was stoked today because Kai in Perth smoked me in every race, and today I got him. So like, that was huge for me. Like, you know, he was winning, like he was up there with Jimmy every race in Perth. So I was stoked I got him today. And then I also got Trent, which he got me in a couple races in Perth. So we were always like toe to toe. So it's cool. Tibby, but he got me good.
Yeah, Tibby was
moving today. And the thing was, he had a shocker yesterday
Yeah.
Like he wasn't moving at all. So it's
the conditions changing just slightly can advantage people like a lot.
Totally. And like it's fully foil choice too. Like, and that, like what you said with learning, you learn from like your experiences and like knowing you never want to go off what other people are doing. You want to go off what you've learned in the past, because like if you just ride the same foil as what the other person is riding, you're in the same boat as them. If they've made a poor decision, you've just copied them. You like,
What's so sick about this whole weekend, or at least for me, is I've been, I wouldn't say forced, but I've done a lot of things that were like kind of out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then like the race is the same. Like every time you do a race, you go, before it, I think everyone feels really nervous. And it's different to just like a running race too. Like if things go wrong, they go pretty wrong when you're out there. And so it's like, you've got to have that on your mind as well when you're racing. And then you get to the end and it's impossible not to have learned something. Even if you win the race, you'll have gone, I wish I did this at that point. Or like, I just think it's impossible to finish a downwind race perfectly. There's always something to work on.
Maybe if you won.
Maybe if you won. We'll ask Nick.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, Josh. That was a sick chat.
No, epic. Thanks for covering it. I think you've probably got some really good insights from everyone. Is this like a podcast with everyone, or is this like individual ones that you're just going to push out?
I reckon we just slam it all together.
Sick.
I think this is like, well, I'll see what the response is, but if people thought that this was a cool format, then that's like an easy thing to do for the next events that I go to. But maybe it's a good, I feel like hopefully it makes you feel like you were here with us doing it. And so then next time you actually are here with us doing it. Yeah.
No, I'm psyched. Like, I think, you know, just people hearing this, I hope it encourages them to come to events, because, you know, they're not cheap getting plane tickets or like getting accommodation, but like our community is so cool. Like, I feel like half the people that came to this event are just staying at mates' houses. So I just want to keep building the sport, building the community. It's cool to see where it's going.